Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Story number 1. The Audacity of Humanity. The gods of the galaxy were holding court as they did from an eon to eon. They were gathered to show off their creations and mediate any disputes that might have occurred since the last court. Coranthus, the Supreme, sat on his throne at the center of the council. He'd been there for billions of years of councils, and in general was quite bored with the entire thing. Millions of species each sent a gestalt of themselves as a representative to the court. Rarely the same species attend more than one council. It was always the same. The god of each species would bring their species in front of them. He would greet them and ask each 3 questions, to which they would answer with intermittently long and boring answers. Who are you? What do you desire? And finally, what do you believe? He had heard every answer innumerable times. Nothing was a surprise. Nothing was new. Everything was boring. This council was nearing its end. The next to last species was on the podium and was ending its presentation. Only one more to go, and then he was free of this tedium for another eon. They left the podium, the species and their god. Slowly, the sole species remaining walked up to the podium, but no god was attending them. "Mortal!" Coranthus shouted. "Where is your attending god?" The creature stood unbowed and defiant. It answered, "Our gods all lay in their graveyards of history. None walks by our side anymore. All have met death." Coranthus was a bit disturbed by the answer. If it had been earlier in the council, he might have pressed for more detail, but with it so close to the end and so near to the party at the end, with its overflowing kegs of ale, rivers of ambrosia, and the never-ending plates of the finest delicacies the galaxy and her progeny had to offer, he just wanted to get it over with. "Very well then," his voice boomed. "Tell me, who are you?" The figure on the podium said with a clear voice, "We are humanity, creators and destroyers of our gods, poets of 1,000,000,000 stories. We are your best friend and your worst enemy, the makers and users of starfire, the masters of our own destiny." The sheer audacity of their statement took Coranthus aback. "Do you know to who you speak, mortal?" he shouted. "Of course," they answered, being surprised by the first answer and stunned by the next. For the first time in many councils, unsure exactly what to say next, Coranthus just skipped to the second of the questions. "Mortal, what do you desire?" he said, sounding a little less sure of himself than before. "We have all that we desire. We have the strength to take as we wish, the mind to understand the unknown, the courage to face the horrendous, and the determination to never despair. There is nothing that you can offer us that we won't achieve on our own." Coranthus again was shocked. Never before had any species claimed so much and with so few words. This humanity had no fear of him. They had no hesitancy when addressing their betters. They acted like that was beneath them. A little quiver entered his voice as he asked the final question. "Humanity, what do you believe?" The avatar of humanity smiled a little bit before answering. "We believe," it paused, "that you are in our seat." End of story. Story number 2. Human Food, written by Lbry Father Anthracite. Excerpts from the Galactic Legal Quorum's Diplomatic Corps Training Manual on Human Foodstuffs. The horrors of the Terran culture do not stop at their sports. Human cuisine can be disturbing, and as such, so fonts with delicate constitutions or an aversion to violence, slaughter, or general mayhem may stop reading now. Introduction: Human Foodstuffs. The lactic secretions of several domesticated animals from Earth, notably bovines, Bos taurus, can be harvested and made into a variety of human consumables. This process can be upsetting. It shouldn't be noted that while the milking of cows does not harm the animals, they are also used for their meat. Sophans who reject foods more moral reasons may consume dairy mostly without worry, except for the Kilviks and Minotaurs. As usual, use your own discretion. This milk, as humans call it, can be consumed fresh from the cow, although virtually all consumer options are pasteurized for safety. The substance can also be processed using enzyme originally derived from the stomach of an infant Bos taurus, which results in the substance commonly called cheese. While cheese is a type of food, there are a vast variety of subtypes that exist, most of which range from pleasant to mildly off-putting. However, some, especially rare regional and specialty varieties, are outright horrors. Yeah, including mold-infested rinds on the outside, or strains of mold running throughout the cheese itself. In one remarkable version, which is outlawed even by humans, but continues to be produced and eaten by a small but dedicated minority, live insect larvae infest the cheese. Not all dairy products are horrifying. For example, letting the liquid settle and harvesting the lipid-heavy portion, which floats to the top, yields a liquid called cream. This cream can be further processed through vigorous stirring into a substance called butter. Butter is a common flavoring agent in many types and styles of cuisine from Earth, and is making inroads into a number of the GLQ species' cooking repertoires as well. The milk and cream can also be processed into frozen confection called ice cream. It should be noted that ice cream can contain a huge number of different flavoring agents, ranging from fruits to various unbaked and baked doughs, as well as nuts, extracts, and candies. Rocky Road noticeably contains extracts, nuts, and candies, all in the same flavor. As such, ice cream is on the extreme caution list along with soups and stews and green salads, and other multi-ingredient foods which may pose a high risk of containing some element which is toxic to non-dairy consumers. Chapter 3. Dairy Human Foodstuffs. This section requires a military clearance to access and is recommended for obligate carnivore and warrior casts only. If a human asks if you would like to attend a barbecue, politely decline, and notify a superior to assess the situation diplomatically. Chapter 8. Barbecue. Human Foodstuffs. While Terra has many cultures, it has just as many foods for each culture. Each culture and its subsequent cuisine may also have regional varieties. Some notable versions of the varietal cuisine on Earth include classic French from the northern and southern region, as well as American barbecue from the northern and southwestern and southern regions as well. Fusion cuisine is also common. This is blending two or more cultural varieties of cooking to produce a third, blended style of cooking. It is advised that all GLQ members avoid any type of fusion cuisine, as it may contain unexpected ingredients which may cause serious or life-threatening reactions in the consumer. Also of note is that due to the density of organic materials grown and produced on Earth, an effect of its high gravity, most Terran food is incredibly high in caloric value. In addition, many prepared foods are high in lipids and proteins, which will require GLQ members to closely monitor their foodstuff intake, so as to not cause health issues due to overcompensation. However, due to the same fact, Terran food makes for excellent emergency supplies, and a small stockpile is recommended for any emergency preparedness kit, where compatible biology allows. If you are unsure how to prepare something, asking a human chef will always garner you suggestions and possibly offers of assistance. Be sure to proceed with caution, but allow them to assist. In return, a common token is to purchase of several of the beverages known as beers for the chef's help. Owing to the death-world nature of Terra, it is rife with many types and subtypes of foodstuffs. With caution and diligence, an exciting and expensive feast awaits those adventurous individuals willing to suss out safe menu items. In conclusion, human foodstuffs. End of story. Just a quick shout out to the T5 peeps. Bob the Dragon, Cat Crab Lobster, Data Magnet, Dark Machine, Bezic, Try Again 95, Pudic Yol, Astrea the Dreamer, Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Athelia, Meridian 117, and Jordan Bucksmorm. Thank you very much. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed. There are links down below, both to support this channel and for the author of this fiction. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic one, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.